Hey everyone, it's me, Empress Arcana, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Hi guys. Alright, so how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Today's celebrity, or this week's celebrity tarot healing reading will be for Kylian Mbappé. He was actually requested a couple of weeks ago, so I finally felt the vibe to do it. And so here we are. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only, with respect, with what channeling energy is about, knowing that we got to keep ourselves open-minded to possibilities, timelines, all that. Keep your mind and heart open and enjoy the ride of where this storytelling reading unveils today for Kylian Mbappé and what's going on in his psyche, according to the energy present. Okay. Enough of my words and mouthfuls and stuff. As always, we're going to start off with the archetype, the Wild Unknown archetype card. I pulled the Poet for Mbappe. And we're going to see what that says. I have the book here. And we're going to read that first and kind of get intuitive and dive into what the theme of this reading will be. Okay. The poet, the artist, the witness, the truth teller. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. They must seek out truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. This unique capacity resides within us all, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet rides effortlessly between the personal and universal. It's impossible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work, but do not. It's impossible. I meant to say it's possible. Whoop. Freudian slip. Ooh. Now, it's possible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work, but do not be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. And I find it so beautiful because, I'm remembering there is a clairvoyance element to it. And there is this beautiful timelessness, feeling wise within your truth telling. And it's interesting because I did take a quick look at Kylian's, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm so sorry if I'm not, his natal chart. And it showed a Sagittarius sun. So I definitely see the philosopher, explorer, and very good with words, because he is also a Libra rising, and that's his third house. Sagittarius is his third house, and he has his Mercury there. Listen, when I saw his chart, I was actually really like, oh, this makes so much sense to me. And very beautiful chart. So let's get the cards. Let's get intuitive. Let's see. And I feel it's very beautiful because sometimes as a creator, in the sense of creative work, whether you're creating movement, writing, words, expressing yourself, whatever it might be, there will always be people that resonate and those that don't. That's just the nature of humanity, of others. And we can all agree to disagree, be respectful to one another. And I feel that in his aura, it takes a lot to push him to the edge, to be angry, because he has a lot of, he has a Libra rising. He has, I don't remember the other placement, but I know he has something else in Libra, I think. And I did see also his Venus and something else in Capricorn. And that's very beautiful because his chart ruler would be his Venus in Capricorn. So there is a taking care of business kind of vibe, but very professional. Doesn't let his emotions get the best of him when in a diplomatic setting. He is charismatic, yes, energetically. I picked that up from the chart. But there is a knowing when to speak and when not to speak. And that is very, like, I feel because he has a retrograde Saturn in his 7th house of relationships, I feel that, soon he'll be having his Saturn return. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud, like seeing the chart in my mind's eye. The Hermit. Okay, we're going to start off with that. It says, time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude. Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor, self-discovery. I feel that Mbappe definitely had or has had this journey where there's a part of him that has been in hermitude and solitude, even if amongst others. But there is an energy of knowing that in order to know others, he must know himself. And I feel that that is a very strong energy in this reading, especially with the creativity of the poet and the words that come out. Because a person can be charismatic and say words that, if they don't hold weight or depth, they're just words. They're just pretty words, and they don't mean much of anything. And of course, the way we receive that message, those words, can be interpreted through our own perspective lens. But I feel that he has been very cautious on how he communicates, and it shows from his natal chart, always wanting equality for others. See, look at that. We got the 2 of Pentacles. It says, working too hard or multiple jobs, the need to bring balance and fun into your life, juggling multiple priorities, balancing the budget. So there's a balancing act right now in his life. Well, there's a lot going on, and he wants to remind himself of keeping himself balanced, keeping himself sovereign and balanced, and also allowing the space to just be, not filling up the space just because he can, if that makes any sense. Okay, these 2 want to come out. We have here the Ace of, is that the Ace of Pentacles? A windfall of abundance, wise counsel, or good fortune, an exciting career opportunity, a lucrative contract, significant purchases like a home or vehicle. So I am seeing that there are a lot of, it's very beautiful because we got the Ace and the 2 of Pentacles. We got Pentacles here. That's very, his Capricorn house is really loud right now. That's his 4th house because he's a Libra rising. So there is this beautiful, energetic, like, balancing of all the things that he wishes to materialize and to give life to give form. And there's something about that pathway. It's funny because it makes me think of the yellow brick road, and something about this energy is getting out from leaving Oz to enter a new chapter of life that will be more lucrative, more balanced, and more on path to what his soul has been desiring. And then here we have the 5 of Swords. Okay, usually it's a card of, there's a sense of defeat, because even though you won, there is something missing in the picture. The card says, an unwise choice, there's a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity or who have questionable motives. And this he has been living in his life, and knowing that the only way to reach this enlightenment of the soul and to understand himself better so that he can portray that on the physical front of reality is to give himself space, give others space, and to not lack integrity, not to act before he has actually taken time to himself to determine what his plan of action is in that circumstance. And that is actually a very smart thing. That shows that you are in a place of power and not squandering it, like letting others manipulate or twist things around from how you perceive things. You stay sovereign in your own perceiving of reality and let others be in theirs. And that's important. And that is very Libra rising. I know that I've been mentioning it, but the story is speaking loudly about it. And it's very beautiful to me. All right, let's see what else wants to come through. What other messages for Mbappé want to come through? I'm not even making this up. It says balance, bruh. So this is temperance. It says blending the ideas of others with your own to create something extraordinary. Successful compromise, the power of diversity, self-control, patience, and balance. So what this is showing me, okay, this is the temperance card. It's a very beautiful card of alchemy. So if I remember correctly, now that Jupiter's in Leo, that's his 11th house of community, of dreams, of the vision being actualized. So he is making sure that everything is in balance, and maybe there's a collaboration in the near future for his career or somewhere that he wants to go with that. Let's see what else. I'm going to get 2 more and then I'll get more cards from another deck. This is very beautiful. Ego. This would be the Devil card. Chains, shackles, shackles being broken, snapped, whatever. The illusion of being trapped. Accept responsibility for your situation and then make choices that support your path to happiness, addictions, or unhealthy habits. This could have reared its head during a time in his life where there might have been a form of addiction of some sort. But remember, the Devil card is just representing certain parts of the shadow, something that hasn't seen the full light. All that means is something that has been unresolved within our psyche. Doesn't have to be bad or good. It's just something that exists. And once we bring awareness to it, we can do something about it. And that I definitely feel, because frick, I can't say the words right for whatever reason. The chains are being snapped apart. I feel that he already accomplished that in whatever that might have been in this context. And that's why he feels more confident in exploring the new chapters, because he overcame something really big involving his ego, his own personal philosophies as well. I said 2 more cards, and I want to pull out another one. All right. The wise counselor. This is amazing. This is the Hierophant. Okay. Unity with a spiritually minded community. What was I talking about? Community, projects, and so forth. Ask the divine for help and trust the answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. All this is planning. This is very Capricorn and Libra coded. This is about planning for the future. There's a lot about planning for the future. Allowing this inner poet to express himself in the way that he wishes to. But there is very, I'm building something very important in my life right now. That is the vibe. I'm going to get a chakra card. Let's see. I love this. All right. These 2 want to come through. So here we have relationships. Okay. It says intimacy, freedom, acceptance, and trust. This could be taking the next step in a relationship or exploring relationships as a whole, considering that he has a 7th house in Aries. There's action wanting to be taken. There's this freedom. The number 9 is giving Sagittarius energy as well. Okay. And it's so funny. I'm going to have to use this little guy. But I have here vitality. This is the root chakra, physical health, vitality, strength, body image, and balance. There. I'm covering her bits up with the doggy. Okay. So root chakra and sacral chakra, these are the the lower chakras in our body. Okay. What this is telling me is that he's focusing on his vitality, his strength, and balancing his body image and bettering his relationships in his life, not just romantically, but in general. He wants his relationships balanced, and with his relationships being in balance, I feel his physical health only continues to improve. That is something so important, because when we are in alignment with our relationships in our lives, friendships, community circles, the people in our lives, romantic relationships, the relationship with ourselves, all of these things, when they are coherent in our body, they become a vitality force instead of something sucking you dry. Okay? Because energy is a thing. We are all made up of energy. And it, depending on the lens that you wear, whether they be metaphysical lens, scientific lens, but energy is energy, and it exists, and we are made up of it. Okay, so let's see. Let's get some of these. I apologize that this chair is so whiny today. That's okay. And it's thundering so bad outside. Oh, I almost dropped it. Thankfully, I didn't. Look at that. Okay. Oh, I see something. Here we got Mars and Leo, egotism. Again, something with the ego. So Mars, I don't remember the exact date, but Mars will go into Leo sometime like Virgo season, I believe. I don't think that Mars will be, or maybe toward the end of Leo season. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Virgo season when Mars goes into Leo. But here we have egotism. That's a very interesting image, if I do say so myself. I really believe that the way that he takes action, he wants to make sure that he is not stepping on any toes. He's being respectful. This is very, very important to him. And then here we have Venus in Gemini, flattery. So something about this, the two sides of the coin, it's important. Like, flattery is nice, but if it's empty, again, there is, excuse me, let me get some water. There is a very loudness about depth to Kylian's soul. That's what I feel. And his Venus is in Capricorn. And with Mercury energy, with Gemini, it's curious and playful. There might be a playfulness to it, but only if you've earned that side of him. He is with a Scorpio second house. I don't remember if he has Scorpio placements, but I do know that Scorpio is very reserved and doesn't open up emotionally, especially in the second house, unless there is a comfortability of knowing your worth and knowing that the person that you are engaging with is worth opening up to. So empty flattery, or just flattery in general, honestly, is not a thing that, like, he doesn't care for it. That's what I just picked up on. So, all right. Let me see. All right, let's get from here. All right. It says, my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. Very important. So this is definitely something that I feel that Mbappé is definitely welcoming the good feeling thoughts so that he can bring in more of that energy into his life. I apologize. I keep... All right, let's see. I'm going to get from here. I might get a couple more cards and just do the tiles and the... Because it's storming. So I apologize that this is not as long as I would have liked. All right. But we can always do another reading. Again, as always, please do suggest if you want to dive into the psyche of any other celebrity. We can do that. We can explore possibilities, timelines, and so forth. I know that there's a lot of requests, and I try to get to them when they feel right. So I hope that that's okay for you guys. I want to deliver the best readings I can. All right. So here we have Metatron. Whoa. Angel of the Divine Presence. Miracles, powerful change. Akashic Records, sudden shift, spiritual growth, hyper focus. I help you discover, excuse me, I help you discover and develop your personal spiritual power and learn to use it to make a better world. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. In 3 months, act now, or in 3 months. So there's a plan of action that's being taken. And in 3 months, there is going to be a culmination of that. Okay. I apologize. My voice is just going away. Okay, well, this card just stayed there, so I'm going to read it as well. Angel of Independence, freedom, spiritual growth, another card of spiritual growth, light power, enhanced pineal gland, wisdom, exploration, very Sagittarius. And you can see Sagittarius here in the top by the 40. I help open the door to freedom in all areas of life through spiritual enlightenment and the discovery of truth. November, big changes. I mean, hold on. August, September, October, November. That's like 3 months, because if we're already like halfway through July, that's an approximation of 3 months. So November, something about November could be significant for Kylian Mbappé. Big changes. Very big changes. This chair. Hey, let me get water again. Okay. Florida weather is gross. I'm sorry. I just, okay. Let's see. What final messages want to come through, please? Ow. All right, the sun, self-express and embody truth. So there is an embodiment of truth here with the sun. This could be near his birthday, since he's a Sagittarius, and it's his solar return might bring in a new form of expression that he's been building up to. I'm gonna get one more. Aquarius. Originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. Yeah, there is something unconventional of the changes that he will be making, but it's going to speak to his soul. His soul is speaking through in terms of this. I'm going to get one of these, and I love that for him. All right. This is a very positive reading so far. I really like it. I mean, I'm always going to like keep it where we can thread in the possibilities and with what you know, because I'm going intuitive, but with what you know, you can fill in the blanks for yourself. All my relationships are harmonious. That he's definitely working on his relationships. Look at that. It says, when we create harmony in our minds and hearts, we will find it in time in our lives. We will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer always. That's exactly what he's working on. He wants his inner world to express itself in his outer world. I feel that with that Pisces Jupiter that he has in the 6th house, he must have a really beautiful inner world. And I don't know, that's just something I felt like sharing. I feel that there is this beautiful knowing that when he is in balance, everything else is coherent in his system, and it only leads to more beautiful things coming together. OMG. There's chaos happening outside. My goodness. You know what? That's a great metaphor. Okay, so what I picked up and intuitively, maybe Mbappe has the chaos happening outside of him, but inside he's had to cultivate, like, I don't know why I'm seeing Mr. Miyagi, like from, oh my God, I forgot the name of the movie. How can I forget? I don't forget Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off. The Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. That's the vibe that I'm picking up from him. All right, let's see what door is opening for him. All right. Distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free. As you dare dream it, so must it be. He wants to make his dreams a reality, whatever those dreams may be. Maybe we can get another card, but distant dream. He wants to balance his dreams so that his inner world, again, can come through in his outer world. That's very beautiful. I said a couple of cards and I'm still pulling cards out here. I lied. One more, and then I'll do the dice and stuff. Stitch. Create a life plan that enriches your sense of purpose through diverse experiences. That's so interesting. I'm telling you, he's really working on like a tapestry, like a proverbial tapestry for himself. Okay. This one more from this deck. This will be the final card. Or so I say. All right. Oh, thank God that didn't fall. Okay. Am I communicating my needs? So this goes back to relationships of all sorts. He wants to make sure that he is he's communicating properly. And it says, your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? So yeah, his whole reading has been very about balancing himself, his environment, his inner world, all of it, so that he can reach the dream in his heart and make it a reality. And then his vitality will rise as a byproduct of it, because when in harmony, everything else flows in that same harmony. And that doesn't mean the shadow doesn't exist. We are always going to be part of ego. A lot of people are they like to talk about in the spiritual community, oh, you need to get rid of your ego and this and that. But no, you have to be in a relationship with your ego. I feel that everything is relational. I feel that it is important to be able to communicate properly. And even though that one might not agree with the other, it's important to communicate, because then words become tangible out into the physical reality. So there is something to hold on to. And not everyone gets that opportunity to, because a lot of people prefer secrets. People don't tell you what they really feel or whatever. And I get it. But I'm always going to be an advocate for truth as well, because truth is important, so that we can then with sovereignty decide for ourselves and make a choice whether this situation is fruitful for ourselves, in balance, and in coherence with our body, all of that. And we can determine it for ourselves as an adult, okay, and not just bypass, whether it be spiritual bypass or just bypassing something just because others are doing it, so you think that, or a person, might get away with that. A lot of people spiritually bypass things, or they bypass in general, because for whatever reason. I know that I'm very passionate about this myself. I feel that truth is important, especially, and if projection comes through, then that tells you more about the other person, not about yourself, because you're listening to what another person and how their expression, if it's a projection to you, then you understand that there's something deeper, and then you don't have to carry that other person's projections whatsoever. You make the choice yourself. So always remember that, fam. Don't allow other people's wounds to determine who you are and what your truth is. Okay? All right. That was the last card, because that's what I said like 7 cards ago. No, I'm going to do the tiles. I don't know why I think of power. Power. That's a blank. That's a blank one. Oh, shoot. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure that I didn't move the... Okay. I think that's fine. I don't know. because I had to get up. Okay, let's see what other tiles we've got here. Oh. We've got run. Run, baby, run. I see in my mind's eye the word give. I saw the word entropy. I know that's a stretch. I see the word run. I'm hearing don't run away from your dream. Mbappé. Power up. AI. That's interesting. Gigabyte memory. I don't know. I see GB. I thought of gigabyte memory, memories, AI, technology. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. Don't run away from your dreams. Give them the time and space, like you give yourself the time and space. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing in my mind's eye too. NT. I'm hearing also a message of not all relationships are currently in balance in your life, Kylian Mbappé, but you are doing the work to see it more clearly with certainty and clarity. Something about technology. I don't know, but I see something about technology, especially with memory, gigabyte, a new project, something. Don't run away from your dreams. They're not as distant as you feel. They're closer than you think, I heard. Okay? Let me get the Astro dice. Okay, no. I need... Of course I drop it. Listen, I record in a very small space. I'm sorry. Everything falls. And then I have to, move everything around. All right. I'll pick that dice up later. All right. Really? Was that necessary? I'm just going to leave it like that. Second house. What was I telling? Okay, hear me out, guys. Mars, Virgo, and then the second house. His second house is Scorpio, and it landed on top of the Gemini Venus. Again, I'm telling you, a Scorpio. I'm telling you straight up. And this is coming from, I'm a Scorpio moon. I'm a Scorpio moon, Libra rising, and a Gemini sun. Gemini and Scorpio, other than knowing how to collect data in different ways, they don't have much in common, because Scorpio is depth and the curiosity of Gemini is very flighty, all over the place, right? Mbappe cannot stand empty words or like words that sound like flattery or whatever. His second house turns right on and is like, no. That's what I'm picking up intuitively, okay? So Mars is about taking action, and Virgo is to strategize, communicating his needs. This is very beautiful. I love throwing the dice and seeing where it lands on the cards, because then I get the messages from the cards and then continue to interpret. I find that so fascinating. Oh my God. So communicating my needs. He is communicating his needs. He's strategizing so he can take action. Virgo Mars. I love that. It's very beautiful because he is taking the energy of a sign that is of service to take action, to be of service not only to himself but to those in his community, and loving, and that brings value to him, and he feels good about what he does. So there might be something very big and beautiful that he does for his community. He might communicate his needs about a community, and in a very poetic way, a very straightforward. I see, because the thing is that he has Capricorn placements, so I always see that as there's structure to the way that he loves, because his Venus is there. I forgot the other planet, but I definitely remember the Venus. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. I am closing the energy. I'm closing this reading I'm closing the energy reading for Kylian Mbappé. Thank you so much for being present. Thank you, energy presence, so that I can gather the information that's like lightning in my mind's eye and deliver them intuitively to you guys who are listening. Thank you so much. If you like what I do, please do like and subscribe. It helps so much. And leave your suggestions if you'd like to. I will continue to be doing this. I'm exploring new avenues for myself, but I'm always going to want to share my insights and my channeled sessions, because I feel that there's insight in those channeled sessions. And I love sharing them with you guys. All right. Love you guys so much. Have a beautiful weekend, and on to the next reading. Bye-bye.